Hey guys, what's going on? Just wanted to do an overview, an updated overview for Build a Network. Those of you guys that have been on this channel, you know that I've been with Build Network for several months, 6 or 7 months. It's been a great experience working with a solid team and a young company. It actually hasn't even been out for a year, so the timing couldn't be better. You know, in business, timing is everything, guys. Okay, and sometimes it's about being at the right place at the right time. And when I took a look at this company, I actually flew out to the West Coast and attended one of their events, met with the owners, and met with their leaders. Witnessed kind of their culture. I said, man, this is something that can be around for a long time. And for me, I always like to get involved with things that can be around for a long time because it's about building. It's about having a stable, solid platform that you can do for a long time. I think that's really where you can have the most success. So that being said, let's take you through what these guys are about, what they're marketing, and more importantly for you, if you're a business-minded person or an entrepreneur, the compensation plan. Because for me, what attracted me to this opportunity was the fact that they were offering high ticket commissions, guys. Okay, when you think about high ticket commissions, I'm talking about an average of $7,000. Okay, when you get trained and certified, you can actually make an average of $7,000 per sale. So, typically in the network marketing space, you're making $2, $3, $5, $10 on a vitamin or a supplement or a bottle of, healthy juice or skincare products. Again, nothing wrong about that, right? There's no problem with that. I think there's some high quality products in the industry and some really good companies that have been around for a long time. For me personally, my thing is if I'm going to invest time into a business, I want to be able to make big money. I want to be able to make thousands of dollars up front, okay? As opposed to, a dollar here, a dollar there, and, having to build a monstrous team. Not that we couldn't do that, right? We've built monstrous teams before. But for me, I looked at this and said, man, the average person who doesn't even want to build a team, they can come in here and make a solid part-time, even a full-time, a high full-time income without ever bringing anybody on their team. And to me, that was a solid opportunity. That was a great opportunity. Now, that being said, those people that do get involved in the network marketing space for residual income, for back end ongoing monthly residual income, they do have a residual component to their compensation plan. So here you have the best of both worlds where you have high ticket commissions plus back end residuals, where typically, in the past, it's always been one or the other. A company either has high ticket commissions, but there's nothing on the back end, or they don't really pay a ton on the front end, but they have a back end component. So again, it looked like to me when I first saw this, and it is, the best of both worlds where they married, really two compensation plans. So that being said, kind of jumping ahead of myself, let's talk about the services. Okay, the flagship service, the core product is a residential solar. Now, since they started, they've branched out into doing commercial solar as well. So, solar panels on schools and churches and office buildings, that sort of thing. But the when they first started, and even now, the biggest thing is residential solar, right? They also are marketing home security systems. They also have a high-end water filtration machine, which we won't really talk about too much in this video. I want to focus more on the residential solar, but they also have a subscription, which we'll talk about towards the end of the video. We talk about some of the residual side, the residual potential. So let's talk a little bit about residential solar, because to me, this is a huge, huge opportunity, guys. Okay. Opportunity. You know, I look at this like, being back in the day with, cellular phone, right? Or the beginning of internet, right? I mean, a lot of people didn't understand it, but whether they understood it or not, whether they liked it or not, it was going to take over, right? Mobile phones back in the day, only a few select people had them. They were big monster. They were like bricks. You had to wear like a backpack. Nowadays, everybody has a cell phone. The kids have a cell phone, right? People do everything on their cell phone. I mean, whether you liked it or not, it happens, right? It happened. If imagine being at the beginning wave of that and being able to capitalize on that, how wealthy you would be. To me, I look at solar like that, right? Everybody's going to get it. It's just a matter of time. If you're in at the beginning and you're helping people make that switch, I mean, it could be a financial windfall for you, right? Because again, like I said before, timing, timing is key. To me, timing is more important than talent when it comes to business, right? You can be really smart, you can have all of that, but if you're at the wrong place at the wrong time, you might not do as well. That being said, vice versa is, you might not be that great, right? You might not be that smart, but if you're at the beginning, if you're at the right place at the right time, I mean, you can strike it big, right? So let's talk about solar here, okay? By the way, this is what you can make on, on these services on residential solar, $7,000 to $10,000 per sale. For home security, you can make $500 to $700. For the high-end water filtration system, up to $2,000 per sale. So again, we're not talking about, $5 here, $10 there, right? In a typical network marketing company, that's, what you're getting paid, right? You need to have a huge, monstrous team to make any type of money. Here, people with no team are making, great incomes, right? So let's talk about this. Here's a quick preview of what you're going to see here. We represent the number one largest solar and home security company in the U.S., as well as other cutting edge world class products and services. No cold calling or door knocking typically with home security or even residential solar. The way the 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 typical solar companies market their services, they have people knocking on your door. Nothing wrong with that, right? There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. If you want to do that here, you can, right? But what I liked was that it wasn't mandatory, right? You can build this through a proven warm market lead system, which we'll talk about here in a second. It's 100% virtual, right? Work remotely, part-time, full-time, no experience is required. We provide training, right? And you can do this all from your home, from your laptop, from your phone. There's actually a gentleman in the company who, at the beginning stages, like maybe like 9 months ago, okay, I think he broke the record in the company. He did like I'm not exactly sure how many sales he did, but Mr. Jabari, I think he's from the Atlanta market. He made over $100,000 in 1 month from home. It's impressive enough that he made a six-figure income, right, in 1 month. But what impressed me was he did it all from home, right on Zoom, right? Meeting with people over Zoom, switching them over, right? It's just very, very powerful. Okay. The fact that you can build this 100% virtual and you can be, anywhere, right? And build a nationwide company, right? A nationwide customer base. All you need is your phone and internet service. That's powerful to me, right? Also, no high pressure sales, right? We take an educational soft sell approach. It has to make sense for them, right? We're never going to hard sell anybody. Okay. We'll educate you. We'll show you how it works. If you feel good about it, let's move forward, right? We help clients save up to $100,000 over 20, 25, 30 years, right? And in addition, we also have a referral program where if you want to be an affiliate, you can actually just refer people to us. Because let's say you don't have time or what have you, you refer homeowners to us. We do all the work. You can make up to $1,000 per referral that gets, that goes all the way to install and gets panels on their roof. We also have an Earn While You Learn program. We'll talk about that in a second here. And as I mentioned before, you can earn an average of $7,000 to $10,000 per sale on your own pen. But also, if you do want to build a team and you want to refer people, we have a very powerful override system where you can earn thousands of dollars, just like a real estate broker earns overrides when they have agents in their office sell homes. We have a quote unquote broker type system as well, which I'm going to show you here in a second. So, that being said, let's talk about solar, residential solar, why homeowners are going solar. They can save up to 50% on their electricity costs, right? That's powerful. You save me up to 50% on any bill that I'm going to pay anyway. You have my attention, right? So who wouldn't want to save up to 50% on something they're already paying for? We help them get a lower fixed monthly payment. So typically when they're not on solar, they're paying a fluctuating amount that increases every year, right? Over time, it increases every single year. What if we can lock them into a lower fixed monthly payment? The way I like to explain this to people is imagine imagine going back to the 80s. Now, some of you guys may not have been born in the 80s. I don't know, right? I'm kind of dating myself, but imagine going back to the 80s when gas was like $1 a gallon. If somebody came up to you and said, "Hey, how'd you like to lock in $1 a gallon for the next 30 years?" Knowing what we know now, right? Gas going crazy, right? $3, $4, $5 a gallon. There was a point in time where it was going nuts, right? Knowing what we know, anybody with a half a brain would have said, "Yeah, lock me into $1 a gallon because the price is going to go crazy," right? That's kind of the opportunity with solar. We know that the price goes up, it fluctuates, and the price they pay goes up every single year because statistically, historically, it's gone up every single year, right? What if we can lock them into a lower fixed payment? The savings they'll have just on that is astronomical. I'm going to show you here a slide in a second that highlights that. Zero money down with various low financing options. Okay, they don't come out of pocket to switch. Again, very, very powerful. We also offer blackout protection, tax credits. Right now, again, that may fluctuate depending on where they live, but they can qualify for some tax credits. This is pretty big. Immediate increase in home value, up to 17%. Again, depending on where they live, it's an immediate increase in home value. So just by having solar panels on their roof, the value of their home increases. Isn't that powerful? Right? Now you might say, well, what if I want to sell my home? Right? Well, statistically, homes with solar panels on top of them actually sell faster than homes that don't. Right? So it's, if they want to sell their home, they'll be able to sell it faster, right? And of course, clean energy to help protect the environment. That's powerful as well. Here's our installation partners. Freedom Forever, 13 plus years of proven solar experience, generating over 2 billion in revenue for 2023. They've completed well over 150,000 successful installations and almost 100,000 customer satisfaction rate. That's crazy, right? We offer a 25-year production guarantee, right? And these are the states that we cover right now. Okay, we cover 70% of the U.S. Okay, and pretty soon we have 4 or 5 other states that we're going to be opening. For the most part, right, at least 70% of the country, we do offer residential solar. So very, very powerful. Here's some customer testimonials. One customer in California, they were paying $287 a month before solar. After, they're paying 148. So I mean, the savings there pretty significant. But even more significant is that 287 a month. That would have been fluctuating and increasing over time. The 148, they're locked into that, right? So not only are they saving money up front, but they're saving money over the course of the next 20, 25, 30 years. Customer in Florida, $410 a month before solar. After solar, 290. And again, that 290 is fixed, right? That 410, that would have been increasing over time. So the savings up front and the savings over time, very, very significant. Um, Here's our VP of sales. He says a solar sales presentation is not a sale, it's an IQ test, which is pretty powerful. And here's the question. If you educated 10 homeowners how to save tens of thousands of dollars by switching to solar with zero upfront costs, how many of the 10 do you feel would switch? Right? Um, Again, powerful. Here's the slide I was mentioning before, where we show you the cost, right, or the savings rather, over time. Because look at this, the cost of the electricity, right, usually 6 to 8% annual increase. So what I mean by that is someone who's paying $150 a month today, in 10 years they'll be paying $300 a month for their electricity, and in 30 years they'll be paying $1,500 a month. I mean, just look at what people were paying 10 years ago, 25, 30 years ago for electricity compared to today. They were paying a lot less back then, right? Because it increases over time and it's going to continue to increase. Well, look at this. If they were paying 225,000, right, total, right, for their electricity, if they switched to solar and got a fixed lower monthly payment, the same time frame, they would pay only $54,000. That's $171,000 in true savings for their electricity. So again, you lock in your electricity bill, no money down, save tens of thousands. In this case, more than tens of thousands, right? Question I usually ask people is, if you're going to pay for electricity anyway, isn't it better that you save tens of thousands of dollars and keep all that extra money in your bank account? I mean, this is a no-brainer. What I love about solar is really when you look at it and you you compare it apples to apples side by side, what they're doing and what we can do, it's really a no-brainer, right? It's really a no-brainer. So why get involved? Let's look at how big this opportunity is. Because again, size and timing is huge when it comes to business, right? 90 million homes qualify for solar in the country, yet only 5% have solar. Only 5% of switch, which leaves 85 million opportunities, 85 million qualified homes that haven't switched yet. I mean, you're not going to be able to get to all of that, okay, in your lifetime. I mean, that's 85 million qualified homes that haven't switched that you can switch over. And every time you switch somebody, it's an average of $7,000 to $10,000 commission. The U.S. Energy Department wants solar to provide 40% of the nation's energy by 2035. Solar is one of the fastest growing industries in the U.S., growing at an average of 33% per year. And look at this, the U.S. government is planning to require that all new homes in the U.S. have solar panels installed. It's already a law in California. So again, the opportunity is mind-blowing, right? There's huge opportunity in this space. In 2023, someone went solar every 39 seconds. So again, as you can see, I mean, the opportunity is mind-blowing. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about the money making side. Okay. If you're an entrepreneur, just switch your entrepreneur, put your entrepreneur hat, rather, is what I said, and start looking at this as an opportunity because you're going to see here how much money you can make. So again, because Encore Soul is 100% virtual, you can help people right from your mobile phone, work and earn money right from your home. What to look for in a business system? Well, number one, industries with a big target market and low market penetration. I just showed you that with solar. Big market penetration, right? Big target market, low market penetration. There's, barely anybody. Again, only 5% qualified homes have switched, which leaves a huge market for you. So again, low market penetration. Essential goods and services like electricity, security, and water. I mean, who doesn't pay their electricity? I mean, even if you remember the pandemic, people were struggling, people were not going to work, some people were losing their jobs. Guess what? They still paid their electricity, right? That's what we call an essential service. People are going to need to pay for it. This is one of the key things when you're looking at a business system. You look for opportunities where people are going to have to pay for it, whether times are good, whether times are bad, whether they're working, whether they're not working. Because when you have a product that people are going to pay for regardless, that's a huge opportunity, right? Low financial investment and overhead costs with a high profit potential, right? I'm going to show you that here in a second. So, have you ever thought about owning your own business and taking control of your own destiny? Let's look at the different ways you can earn. Now, for the sake of time, we're not going to cover all of these different ways you can earn, but just know that there are 7 ways to earn in our compensation plan. We'll focus on maybe, 2 or 3, but there's a lot of different ways that you can earn. Okay. So let's talk about being a brand new consultant, a brand new person, someone who's maybe just being trained for the first time in this space. All you got to do is introduce, watch, and you get paid. Introduce people you know to your mentor, to your trainer. Let them do all the work. You get paid, right? You do a 50-50 split and you get paid. Okay. So look at this, an average of $3,500 per sale. Because again, it's $7,000 average commission. If you do a 50-50 split with your trainer, because they're doing all the work, you're still making $3,500. And all you did was sat there and just watched, maybe took some notes, right? Um, I mean, we have people that never even want to, go on their own. All they want to do is just bring people to their trainer all day long because their attitude is, let the trainer do all the work. I'll make $3,500. I'll make 50% split, and I'm not doing anything but introducing and watching, right? But there's people like that all they do is do that, which is great. There's nothing wrong with that. So again, wouldn't an extra $3,500 a month part-time relieve some financial stress in your life? Now, once you become trained and certified, should you choose to, you can go out there and close sales on your own, right? If you do that, you'll earn a 70% commission, right? So again, the way it works is they pay out a 70% commission on their profit. The average company profit is $10,000 per install. That's where they get the $7,000, right? So it's $7,000 paid to you whenever you do a personal sale. So it takes an average of 1 to 2 hours total to help a homeowner go solar. How many homeowners would you want to help out, right? So again, without a team, you're on your own pen, you could make a significant income. Now, let's say you want to become a trainer yourself. Let's say you're trained and you're certified and you know how to close your own sales. You have the opportunity to become a trainer, right? We call them a mentor. So in order to do this, you observe 3 training sales with your trainer slash mentor. You close 5 sales on your own and you complete the company certification. Once you do those 3 things, then you're qualified to become a mentor. Okay. You're qualified to help brand new people close, their sales, and you do a 50-50 split. So imagine you're helping brand new people, right? They're getting trained, they're bringing people to you, you're doing the work. They just bring their warm market, they bring their brother, their sister, their uncle, their parents, their neighbor, their best friend, et cetera, right? They're just bringing these people to you. You're doing presentations over Zoom and you're doing a 50-50 split. Let me show you an example here of how this works. Let's say you have 4 brand new people, and each one of those brand new people, they want to do 3 training sales, right? That's the system. So you have 4 brand new people, and you want to, and your goal is to help them close 3 training sales. That's 12 sales total, right? Now, at an average of $3,500 because of the 50-50 split, that's $42,000 in commissions paid to you just because you had these 4 brand new people bringing you people that they know, and you're just doing the presentation and answering their questions and helping them switch over. That's a lot of money, right? Especially because you're just doing it over Zoom. Very, very powerful. I don't want to say you're in your pajamas, but well, you can be in your pajamas from the waist down, right? And but I mean, just sitting in your office, sitting in your dining room, you have your laptop in front of you, you're closing sales over Zoom. That's powerful, right? We've had people close sales in their car, right? They're closing a sale, or they're on Zoom on their phone, or they're on Zoom, in their car or at a Starbucks, and they're making money, showing people how to switch over. Very, very powerful. So become a mentor, get warm leads by training new consultants on your team or company wide. What does that mean? That means in this example, we talked about 4 brand new people. Those brand new people don't have to be on your team, right? Imagine you're a trainer, right? Or you're a mentor, and let's say you don't even have a team, but let's say I have a team and I'm too busy, or I don't know what I'm doing yet. I'm brand new, or maybe I just don't have an interest in becoming a mentor, but I can bring people, I can build a team. I can take people that I know and say, hey, so and so, go train my guys or go train my gals or do their training sales. What are you going to say? Of course, yeah, I'll help you. No, I'd love to help, right? Because you're going to get a 50-50 split off of those people, and they're not even on your team. But because you're a qualified trainer, you have an opportunity to train new people. It's powerful. We'll talk about that on another video, but that's an opportunity. So John D. Rockefeller said, I would rather earn 1% of the efforts of 100 people than 100% of my own efforts. And we're going to talk about overrides here. So before I talk about overrides, we want to give you an example because we want you to understand that this override model that we have, it's not new. Other industries have it, right? Real estate, insurance, mortgage. Let's talk about a real estate brokerage. There's a broker usually, and there's also an agent, right? When an agent sells a home, they make a commission, right? When a broker sells a home, they make a commission. But when an agent sells a home, what happens to the broker? They get an override, right? If that agent is in that broker's office, maybe they were trained by that broker, right? The broker offer them resources and support. The agent goes out and sells a home. The broker makes an override, right? So who would you rather be, the agent or the broker? I know all day long I'd rather be the broker, right? Because when you're a broker, your income doesn't depend 100% on you all the time. Right. If you're an agent, if you go out there and sell a home, you make money. But if you don't go sell a home, you don't make any money. As a broker, you make money when you sell a home. But let's say you don't sell a home. Let's say you got sick for a month, or maybe you went on vacation for a month. I don't know. But you had agents inside of your office that were selling homes still, whether you were there or not. You're getting paid whether you're doing anything or not. That's passive income, right? Or we call it an override income, right? Again, very, very powerful. So again, we have the same thing. We have a solar brokerage instead of a real estate brokerage. We have consultants, and then we have managers, right? Who would you rather be? Same example, right? Well, let's talk about the overrides here. In Encore Solar, you have the legal right and option to hire as many consultants as you want and get paid on their sales. And again, totally optional. You can be, on your own and kind of do your own thing. If you want to share this with people and build a team, there's overrides that you can earn. Okay, we have different positions in the company. We have consultant, manager, director, executive director, national director. Now, based on your rank, you're going to earn frontline override, an increasing percentage, by the way. Okay, as you move through the system, as you can see, the frontline override percentages increase, but also the team infinity overrides increases as well. Now you're always gonna make a 70% personal commission, but your override percentages will increase. And then at the higher levels, the executive director, national director, you're getting a piece of the company-wide bonus pool. Now, I know what you're saying. Okay, the percentages are increasing. That's great, but what does that actually mean in dollars, right? Well, let me show you. Here's an example. Let's say you're a manager and you have 5 consultants on your team. Now, everybody's doing 2 sales each, right? All of your consultants are doing 2 sales each in a month. That's 10 sales per month, right? Uh, that is $6,300 in team overrides. Okay. But let's say you go out there and you do 1 sale yourself. You're making $7,000 on that one personal sale. So $6,300 in team overrides plus your $7,000 personal sale. That's $13,000 a month with a little old team of 10 people. You and 10 people, nobody's doing crazy, nobody's doing Rambo type numbers, right? Everybody's just doing two. That's $13,000 a month in income. Very powerful. What's impressive about that is almost half of it is coming from overrides, right? Let's say you move forward and you continue building a team. And let's say you have a team of 10 consultants now. You're a director with 10 consultants, and everybody's still doing the 2 sales each. Now we're talking about $13,800 in overrides, but you're still out there helping your personal customer, right? That's $7,000 on your personal sale. That's $20,000 a month in total earnings, right? 20,000. $20,800 a month is $250,000 a year, and you have 10 people on your team, right? Now, typically in the quote unquote network marketing space, if you were to make $250,000 a year, you need to have thousands, maybe even tens of thousands of people on your team to make that type of money. Here we're talking about 10 consultants, 10 team members, each helping 2 people go solar a month. Okay. Again, this is the power of high ticket commissions. We have a high ticket model. Let's say you continue to grow, right? You become an executive director. Now you have 50 consultants, 50 team members. If everybody's doing 2 sales per month, look at this, $67,000 in team overrides, guys. That's a lot of money. Okay. Um, would you be excited, okay, to own a business system that pays you over $67,000 cash per month? And again, it's all, as you can see here, your income is 100% overrides, which means if you don't do anything, if you don't sell, if God forbid you get sick or get into an accident, you're not able to work, or let's say you go on a vacation for a week, 2 weeks, a whole 30-day time period, right? Let's say you just disappear. That $67,000 is still coming in because it's all based on overrides. Your team isn't going to stop because you stop. Why? Because they want to move up. They want to move forward. They want to make money, right? So again, very, very powerful system. Real quick, guys. Okay, we were just talking about solar. We do offer home and business security, as I mentioned before. ADT, number one largest ranked home and business security company in the U.S. They've been in the security industry for over 100 years. State-of-the-art technology, right? It includes video surveillance, smart home automation. So again, you're helping people switch to solar. You say, look, do you have a home security system? You just basically cross-sell another service. And look at this. If the service costs them $49 to $63 a month, you're making an average of $400 to $700 per sale. So again, you're offering them a security system. Again, you're making up to $700 per sale. That gets paid to you the very next week, right? Very, very powerful. So what would it take for you to start your own solar business? Well, you're going to need to have relationships with installers, right? Because you're not going to be the one installing the panels, right? You need to have installers doing that. You need to have an accounting and legal department. You also need to have a sales department. You need to have operations, customer service, right? A CRM technology, right? You need to have like a back office, right? Where you can track everything. All of that costs money, right? And of course, you need to have a marketing department. All of this, you're looking at least $100,000 to start your own solar business, right? Look at this, Solarverse, minimum cash required to start a solar franchise, right? To get involved with them, $50,000. There's a $50,000 franchise fee. So $90 to $134,000 is what it costs to start a solar company with Solarverse, right? So again, those numbers that I just showed you on the previous slide, they're pretty congruent, right? With us, how do you get started? Well, as a consultant, you come on board, it's $149 one time, right? $149 is not a lot to start your own business. You're going to have everything that I showed you before, right? CRM, all of that for $149 one time. Guys, I mean, I've taken Uber rides. I mean, no joke. And I hope this doesn't come out the wrong way, but I've taken Uber rides that cost me more than $149, right? I mean, you can't take, your family out to a nice dinner and not spend $149, right? Some of you guys have spent more than that on shoes, right? Or sneakers. We're talking about an opportunity here to make a significant income for a one-time $149. And then it's $49 a month for the tech fee, right? So you have the CRM and all that stuff. So again, you can own your own nationwide solar brokerage for $149 one time and then $49 a month. But we have a refer four and pay no more program, which means if you refer four people, then you don't have to pay your $49 a month tech fee. So again, very, very powerful. So again, low cost, but then high end potential, right? If you were to build a team that I showed you in the previous slide, where you're making $50,000-$60,000 a month, and all it cost you was $149 one time, that's low cost for high end potential, right? And I hate to say it costs you only 149 because it's going to cost you, right? It may not cost you money, but it's going to cost you sweat equity, right? You got to put work into this because again, money's not going to just fall out of the sky. But if you're willing to, put some work into this, I mean, you could make some serious income doing this business. So as I wrap up here, let me just talk a little bit briefly on our residual income side because we've been talking about the upfront, the high end, the high ticket. Let's talk a little bit about the back end residual side. Okay, we have a subscription model here where if you have a subscription with us, you'll get a ton of different services, and we're adding that to that all the time. Okay, we have travel, we also have financial mastery education, business mastery education. We also have an opportunity for you to save money on different things that you probably already do. So let's talk about subscriptions, right? Because it's a very popular model, right? Netflix, 282 million monthly subscribers, guys. That's over $2.8 billion in monthly revenue. Amazon Prime, 200 million monthly subscribers. That's $3.4 billion in monthly revenue. Spotify, $256 million, or excuse me, 256 million monthly subscribers, $1.1 billion in monthly revenue. Sorry about that. Wouldn't you have loved to be at the beginning of these billion-dollar companies and get paid on all those subscriptions? So, I mean, here we have the same thing. We have a subscription model. You can build a block of business, people that have our subscription. And again, there's various services that come with our subscription, and we're actually adding to it. If you build a block of business, you can actually earn residual income, an ongoing monthly residual income. So real quick, guys, on the financial mastery education side, there's things like credit repair building, credit building, tax planning, being your own bank, tax-free retirement. You'll learn all about that. Business mastery, business structuring, establishing corporate credit, access to capital, good versus bad debt. I mean, there's people who go into business and they still use their own personal social security number, right? They don't have any idea that they should be using a business number, right? So you teach them about that. So this is all part of their subscription. I mean, there's people that pay thousands of dollars for courses, right? They go to a hotel on the weekend, right? And there's a guy there or a gal teaching them about all this stuff, and they're paying for a course. This is all part of their monthly subscription with a Build Network, right? Also part of that subscription, they'll be able to save money, right, on basically anything that they do. Stuff they're probably already doing already, right? Like travel, retail, online shopping, restaurants, movie theater tickets, et cetera, et cetera. They, instead of just going online and purchasing that, they can go through their membership and they can save, some money, right? Anywhere between $2,500 to $3,500 a year just by using their membership to do things they're already doing, right? So let's talk about how this thing can potentially build out. right? Now, this is more on the subscription side, okay? Obviously, referral marketing is how we choose to, promote our business. And this is how your subscriber base can build. Now, it's not guaranteed because I'm going to show you a perfect world example. We don't live in a perfect world, but I got to show you something, right? You can do maybe less than this. Some of you guys may do more than this, but I'm going to show you the takeaway after I show you what your team can look like after a year, right? Let's say in month one you get 2 subscribers, right? You're not lighting the world on fire. You have 2 people that want to get the subscription. You get 2 subscribers. Month two, let's say those 2 subscribers introduce and get 2 subscribers of their own. That's 4 subscribers on your month two, right? Let's say on month three, those 4 subscribers, they just do the same, right? They share it with 2 people, they get 2 subscribers. Month four, those 8 people share it with 2 people, that's 16 subscribers. I think you get to see the pattern here, right? Just by two who get two, who get two, who get two over time, in 1 year's time, you'll have 80, almost 8,200 subscribers in your block of business. Now, here's the takeaway. Did you introduce all those 8,200 people or 8,200 subscribers? No, right? Matter of fact, down here, you probably don't even know who these people are, right? What you did is you introduced it to 2. See, this is the power of referral marketing. You can build a huge business and all you're doing is starting it off, right? For me, when I first saw this, I said, man, I don't know if I can get 8,200 people. I don't know 8,200 people. That's a lot of work. I don't know if I can do that. The guy that was introducing me to network marketing or referral marketing, he said, hey, you don't need to. Do you know 2? Let's start it with 2. Let's get 2, and then we'll just duplicate that over and over and over. And over time, you could have thousands of people inside of inside of your team, right? Thousands of subscribers inside of your customer base. Again, very, very powerful. Some of you guys are looking at this like, man, I don't know a lot of people. Does it help to know a lot of people? Look, I'm not going to lie to you. Yeah, it probably would, right? But do you know a few? If you just know a few who know a few, who know a few, who know a few, over time, right, through exponential growth, you can have a pretty sizable business, okay? I've built in the past teams, tens of thousands. I didn't introduce all those people. I started it with a few, right? That's how this model works, right? So let's look at here some examples, okay? This is what we call our dual team bonus. And this is based on our build membership, $99 a month. If you have 10 people on your left team or team one and 10 people on your right team, or what we call team two, that's 20 subscribers. You have a $500 a month residual. We call it a builder 500, right? Don't worry about learning about these titles. You'll learn about that later. Just know that with 20 subscribers, you got a $500 a month residual. You're not going to retire off that, but what build, you don't have to worry about right now, right? If you had $500 a month coming in, month out residually, right? Let's say your team continues to grow. You have 25 people on your left team or team one, 25 people on your right team, right? Or team two. That's 50 subscribers. Now you have $1,000 a month residual. Now you didn't get all those 50. You started off with a few who got a few, who got a few. People are trying to get their refer for and pay no more, right? That's all they're trying to do is get their membership paid for, and they're trying to refer 4 people. Just by you showing people how to refer 4 people so they don't got to pay their membership, your team can grow. What if your team grows to 110 subscribers? 110 subscribers over time, not overnight. Now you have a $2,000 a month residual. Do you see? You see how we can grow over time? Let's say you have 115 on your left team, 115 on your right team, 230 total subscribers. That's $4,000 a month in residual income. Mind you, this is back end income. You have the upfront income coming from solar, right? $7,000 average, $7,000 to $10,000 average per sale. You have that coming in up front. This is just off the back end of subscriptions, right? Very, very powerful. And then if your team continues to grow over time, look at this. You have less than 500 people here. You have $8,000 a month residual. That's a 6-figure income residually, right? Your team continues to grow. We have 15,000 a month, a residual income position called Executive 15. We have Executive 25, which pays out $25,000 a month in residual income. And then as your team grows and grows, ultimately we have a position called Executive 250. That's $250,000 per month in residual income. Now that's a lot of money, right? I heard, like, for example, I heard someone say, well, man, that you need a lot of people to do that. Yeah, you do. But last time I checked, 250,000 a month residually is a lot of money. Okay. Now let's say you never do this. Let's say you never achieve these levels, but all you did was maybe make an extra $1,000 or $2,000 a month. Would it be worth it to have $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month coming in residually? What if you never made $250,000 a month, but all you did was cover the cost of your living expenses? Let's say it takes you $4,000 a month to live, or $8,000 a month to live to pay for your rent and mortgage and car note and et cetera, your groceries. What if all you did was make residually what you were spending? Now you're financially free, right? It's powerful, right? That's the opportunity that we have here. So you have monthly residual bills, don't you? Shouldn't you have monthly residual income? So how to get started with our subscription model, right? Actually, it's just $50 more than our consultant position, right? Or the consultant position was 149 one time. Well, our builder position, which is everything that a consultant has, plus the monthly subscription model where they can get paid back in residual, is just $50 more, right? 199 one time and then $99 a month. And then we also have a refer for and pay no more. So again, you refer four people, you don't got to pay $99 a month, and you have all of the benefits, everything, right? So again, very small investment for what you can get on the back end, which is, a residual income. So how much would it cost you if you don't get started right now? We have what we call in this industry a binary model. Okay. And the person who invited you, they want to give you the best spot they have in their structure, right? Which is the next available spot. So this can be you right here. Okay. In our model, there's only two teams that you're building, a left team and a right team. Okay. So if this person you invited, or excuse me, the person who referred you, let's say they invite more people. Well, they can't put 10 people direct to them. Okay. They have to put them underneath because they're only allowed to build two teams. So let's say this is you, right? When this person starts bringing in more people, guess what they got to do? They got to place those people underneath you, right? Popular term in our space is spillover, right? You can get spillover. Well, let's say you say, you know what? I want to wait, right? And let's say, 3 months later, 4 months later, you say, you know what? I've been thinking maybe I do want to get involved with solar. So and so has been asking me about that. So and so has a home. Maybe they can use this, right? And let's say 3, 4 months later, you come back. Guess what the next available space is going to be? It's not going to be up here. It's going to be all the way down here, right? So all these people that came in, if you had gotten in before, all of these people would have fell up underneath you. Now they're above you, right? Just because you procrastinated and waited. So again, timing is everything. You need to take action ASAP. So as we wrap up here, let's just summarize. Can you make real money online from home? Yes. Can you work part-time or full-time and control your own schedule? Yes. Can you make great money without bringing other people on board? Yes, you can, right? Because again, it's a high-ticket model. Can you be successful without cold calling? Yes, right? If you leverage our warm market lead system, if you have no experience whatsoever in this space, you still earn great money. Yes, because we provide training. So what are the next steps, right? This is the last slide. How do you partner with Build Network? Well, you contact who referred you, get the registration link, secure your position, right? And get your ID, get everything situated. You'll have access to the back office. Again, if you're watching this and you're on our channel, check the link down below. You can register there, right? But more important than that, what you're going to want to do is get with us so that we can schedule your business launch. Okay. And what that means is we're going to connect you with a senior leader, someone that has a ton of experience, a mentor, right? A trainer, like we mentioned before. We're going to connect you with that person, and they're going to, maybe go on a Zoom with you and talk about the next steps. Okay, what your training is going to entail and what they're going to do to help you get trained. Okay, so that's very, very key. Scheduling a business launch. Okay, and then obviously once your business launch is is done, we can get you making money ASAP. Right. So that's pretty much it, guys. Okay, huge opportunity here. The company's not even a year old. Timing couldn't be better. The owners are, they're just solid. They're rock solid, experienced in this space, right? They've been in this space probably 50 years combined. Two owners, just solid individuals, right? So if you're looking for an opportunity, or if this is something that intrigues you, click the link down below or reach out to me. We can even get on a call or jump on a Zoom. We can have a small conversation, and I can show you how to get started with this. So with that being said, I will catch you on the next video. Peace.